Now let's download the data. So for this, as I said before, we will be using the data, the actual data from data.cms.gov, which is our US government's official website for centers of Medicare and Medicaid services. So for that, well, it's a huge website. There is a lot of information. So instead of going into like much more detail, let me just get to the point. So within this website, we'll be actually using this data, which is Medicare provider utilization and payment data for inpatients. And again, here is some information you can read and understand if you want. But yeah, let me go to the actual data place here. So again, well, there are a few clicks if you will do, the website will take you over here where you can view this data. So again, it's the same thing. By provider, it's inpatient, Medicare inpatient hospitals by provider and services. So again, there are lots of data provided over there, but we'll use the this specific one, and we will use the latest data, which on this website, well, it has the whole summary until 2022 only. They haven't updated for 2023 or 2024 yet. So we'll be using the latest data. Yeah. And well, yeah, I mean, we can use this download or access API. Well, API is one good way where you can directly connect your data source to this government's website, where and every time there is an update, the data will be directly fed into your Power BI. So that's the positive part of accessing this API. I know there is a procedure, and we can use a middleman software. Well, I personally have used something called as Postman, but again, it's a long process. So for now, we won't be going through the Postman app, that is API, Applications Programming Interface, where you can directly connect your Power BI data source to any company's official. I mean, as long as they officially provide it, you can connect it, and every time there is a data upload in the original data source, that is the government's data source, that is this website, your Power BI dashboard will be updated. Yeah, so that's the thing about API. If you want, I can talk more about it, and later on throughout the semester, I will be dedicating one or two sub modules talking about APIs. But again, it's a long process. So for now, we won't be going through this. So let's go through the our standard route. So on this website over here, I'll be providing this link to go over here. Click on View Data. As soon as you do that, well, something like this pops up, and it is telling me there are 145,000 data points, 145,742 data points over here. And yeah, here are the different columns they have, headers they have, and data. So let's just get started with downloading. Yeah, so again, I'm going to press export, and you see what happens as soon as I press export. A window like this pops up that is telling me what file type do you want. Do you want a CSV or CSV for Excel? Well, this is kind of a helpful feature I think the government is offering us. I'm sure they are aware that many important healthcare providers, doctors, insurance guys, and lot more people are using this live data they offer. And again, CSV, there are pros and cons and so on. But for our case, we will be doing some manipulation, data manipulations, data transformation before loading it into Power BI. So for that reason, I will prefer Excel. Well, you can download CSV also, and then you can convert it into Excel. Well, let's do that. Yeah, I will show you how to convert a CSV file into Excel. It's very straightforward, but again, like unless you do, you won't know it. So let's select CSV. You can select this also, but yeah, for now I'm going to go with CSV, and then I'm going to say export. And as soon as I click export, you see, yeah, awesome. This is download. Maybe I should open this. Yeah, okay, awesome. So as soon as you download it, yeah, please go ahead and open it. So again, a zip file like this. Oops, let me go. A zip file like that will open up. Let me just open that zip file. And yeah, please open it. So this is the file, and within that zip file, there is this Excel file. So again, double click on it. It's trying to open on my other window. Or maybe, yeah, just select this and say extract. For now, I'm going to extract in my downloads. So awesome. Looks like the extract is completed. I'm going to close this. And oops, it's Medicare. Yeah, let me search. I think MEDICARE. underscore. Awesome. Here is a file. So I'm going to open it. Still opening. Awesome. Here is the file. So like I said, as soon as I downloaded it, let me check the boundaries. For that, I'm going to do some simple formatting over here to just make the data readable, presentable. So I'm going to select the entire sheet, click over here that says alignment center, alignment middle, and double click it so that the cells will be auto adjust to the width it is looking for. Awesome. Yeah, so I'm going to check the limits. So select cell A1 and on my keyboard I'm going to hold Control Shift right. So awesome, we have columns until O, which is total 15 counts as of now. And let's check the other side of the boundary, which is top to bottom. So I'm going to hold Control Shift down. Awesome, 145, 743 data points. So that's good to know that this is a lot of data. And again, this is the real data downloaded from our the CMS government's website. So on top of it, yeah. So before this data can be loaded into our Power BI, I want to do some manipulation. So for that reason, you just watch and follow me. So on this file over here again, the first thing I'm checking is you see it's .csv right now. So I'm going to go to File, Save As. Again, I'm going to click here, download is good. And here for the file type, currently it's CSV, which is comma separated variable or comma delimited. It's the same, different name. Then I'm going to select Excel workbook.xlsx. That's what I'm going to select. And then I'm going to say save. Once I do that, you see the extension over here has changed to .xlsx. Awesome. One important step completed. Yeah, so we converted the CSV file into Excel file just by save as and selecting the right format. Again, it's sounds like very easy. It is very easy, but it is a very important step. Yeah, because if you do some manipulation, if you try to do some changes within a CSV file, not all Excel functions are available. Yeah, that's a drawback. And I'll explain later on what CSV file is, what's the purpose of it is, and why it is used. Yeah, and so on. So moving forward, in the first step of manipulation data, munging or manipulation or editing, before we transform and load it, I'm going to right click on the sheet over here that says Medicare IP, hospitals by Provid. Right click over here. I'm going to click on move or copy. Then I'm going to select create a copy and make sure this is selected, the original file, this sheet name, and create a copy and say OK. As soon as I do that, you see another sheet is created that has this parenthesis 2, that this is the copy that is created of the original sheet. So this is your original data and this is created data. Yeah. So again, I'm going to drag it to my right over here. Just changing places. And now once I do that on the copied file, copy created, I'm going to double click and make sure everything is selected. You see this is selected. I'm going to change the name to providers, Providers. Awesome. Yeah. And once I do that, next thing is I'm going to delete many of these columns which I'll be using later on. Yeah, again I'll be systematically keeping some columns which I'll be needing, and I'll be deleting a lot of columns. Yeah, so first thing is provider CCN, maybe it's an ID, I want it. Second one is provider organization name, I want it. Third one is city name, provider city name, I want it. Provider address, I want it. I don't understand what this is. Maybe they have created an IP for this. As of now, I do not want it because I want only relevant information to the providers. Yeah. So maybe this is something related to the customer or somebody who has used the service. So I'm going to delete this. So make sure you also delete the same thing. Yeah, so this cell E, or column E, that says FIPS. So right click over here, delete. Zip code, I want to need it. State abbreviation, I want to need it. Maybe this is also related to the customer or the service that was used. So this thing called as RUCA. So I'm going to delete it. Then the next part is description, something, RND, RNG, RUCA description. Well, let's check. Yeah, well, I'm not going to need it. So I'm going to delete this G as well. Then there is something called as DRG CD. I don't know what that is. So I'm going to delete it from this sheet providers. Then DRG description. This also, well, again, let's see. So the name is here, DRG description. I don't know what that is. I'm going to delete it again. Well, technically I know, but I mean, it's related, it's irrelevant to the provider's information. So yeah, so for the provider info, total discharges, amount, and so on. Well, technically I do not want it because this is more of a transactional information. So I'm going to select everything from G until J and delete it. Yeah. So kind of I cleaned this part of the sheet. Again, there is a lot of cleaning. I'll tell you, there are lots of these are very good techniques. You'll enjoy doing these as well. And again, maybe to make so that you can view better, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so that you can view it better. The next part is I'm going to select this entire row 1, go to view, panes, freeze top row, go to data. Well, again, select the entire row 1, go to data tab, apply filters. Awesome. Yeah, so again you can see this is a repetition. Yeah, so yeah, so lots of repetition. So again we need to remove those duplicates. Well, before that, let me make one more change, and again this is more of a part of standardization. So I'll be using so in the last cell over here, yeah, so this first empty cell G, I'm going to call something, let me change this name to HRR. I'll tell you later on what this HRR is, but I'm going to name it as HRR. Maybe I'll put it in a bracket, bracket, yeah, parentheses, HRR. So I'm going to use a very important Excel formula or Excel command over here. So follow me, yeah. So again, the formula here is equal to concat, C-O-N-C-A-T. Concat is nothing but, again, Excel coders, developers have used this very fancy name. In general, concat means join or combine. Yeah, so that's the simplest explanation. So concat is it's a fancy name for joining or combining two cells. So again, start with this, and again, as soon as you type in concat, these two options will pop up. Technically both are the same, there is no difference, so you can pick any. I'll stick with the current one I have, concat. Then I'm going to start a parentheses. As soon as I start a parentheses, it is asking me what is the text one. So for that I'm going to select this F. Yeah, so F2 as my text one. Then I'm going to start do a comma, and now important, it is asking me text 2, but again I'm playing a trick over here. Yeah, so I need so I'm going to combine this AL plus the initial part. So for the city name, yeah, this is a city name. So what I'm going to do is start with the double first of your double comma, space, dash, space, close the inverted comma, comma. Now it is asking me what is the text 3 I want. I want the city, provider city name, this one. Yeah, so you see this is my formula what I have entered. Concat, it started with equals to concat, start a bracket or parentheses, F2. Then immediately after F2 comma, and again no space, immediately after comma start with a double quote, space, dash, double quote, comma, no space between the comma and C2, then C2, and then close it out here, close the parentheses, and then press enter. As soon as I did that, you see what happened. Excel combined this state abbreviation AL, space, dash, space, city name. Yeah, so awesome, one important step completed. Now once that's done, I'm just going to hover I'm going to select this cell G2 and hover my mouse on this cell, and you see I'll take it to the very right hand side bottom corner where my cursor shape changes from this big white bold plus sign to this, I'll say blackened thin skinny plus sign. As soon as it happens, I'm going to double click on it. It's going to apply that formula all the way down to each and every cell. Yeah. So again, it's done to the last, and you see it has combined Texas space dash space Manfield, yeah, city name. Yeah. So awesome. That's another important step completed. I'm going to double click it so that it auto adjusted to the width. Yeah. So this is another important step completed. And the next part is, again, I don't want to keep it as a formula. So I'm going to, again, once that's done, I'm going to select this first cell, that is G2 in this the first active data cell in the column G, HRR G2. Then I'm so once selected, I'm going to click hold Control Shift on my keyboard and down arrow, so everything is selected. Once that's done, I'm going to copy. Yeah, so Control C, or you can right click on this while it is selected, say copy, and on the same cell while it is selected, yeah, make sure your selection is not lost. This whole thing is selected from all the way G2 until all the way down, and while it is selected, right click over here, and within the paste, don't do a simple straightforward paste. Within the paste, the second option is values. Yeah, maybe on your computer it might be third, fourth, fifth, but make sure when you hover your mouse, it must say paste values or this bracket V, or it should have this some symbol like paste symbol notepad with a 1, 2, 3. So that's a paste value. So I'm going to click on that. As soon as I do that, it will paste all the values. So again, visibly you won't see any change, but this time when I click on this cell, I don't see that formula. Yeah, so again I pasted all the values. Overwritten the formula, pasted values. Yeah, so another important step completed. Next thing is I'm going to save this file. Yeah, again, have this habit of frequently saving. It will help you. Oftentimes, if the computer crashes or software hangs up, restarts, everything is saved. Yeah, so that's important step then. Now you see when I am looking at the service providers. Yeah, the providers company name. You see there is 1001, 05, 06 and so on. So I don't see lots of repetition over here. So these are all the unique provider IDs. Yeah. So again, there is no repetition over here. Same thing with the organization name. There is only one organization, but again, there are lots of duplications over here. And in this sheet, I just want the provider information. I do not want the transaction information. This is only provider information. So I'm going to extract the provider information from this whole transaction, and that's the reason why we created a copy of these, changed these name, and did this procedure and deleted many cells, and then kind of use that concat command, and we'll be using this later on, but yeah, we are doing it. So now one next step, very important, is we want to remove all these duplicates. Yeah, so again, I know this is the provider code, it is the provider name, and for each name there is a unique provider code. So wherever you see 10001, it's going to be the same provider, same city, same address, and everything same. So for that, I'm going to select the first cell A, or this column, this provider CCN. I'm going to select this entire thing, and within my data tab over here, I'm going to go over here. There is something called, within the data tools over here, it says remove duplicates. Yeah. So again, I will repeat, select the entire cell A. If you are not at a data tab, please go to your data tab, and within your data tab, here you see data tools, and within data tools, say remove duplicates. Yeah, you see this, click on that. As soon as you do that, a window like this will pop up. It will say expand the selections, or do I need to only remove from these? Well, I'm definitely going to expand the selection, because like everything on this whole row is the same. Yeah, so it's unique to this name. So I'm going to keep it to expand the selection, not the second one. Expand the selection, and as soon as I do that, you see what happens. Expand the selection, and it will say remove duplicates. And now a window like this will pop up. It is telling me all these cells are selected. So are these correct? Do I need to unchange or unclick anything? As of now, everything is correct. So I'm going to click OK. And as soon as I do that, you see what happens. It is telling it. So 142,727 duplicate values found and removed. 3,115 unique values remain. So that's telling me there are, within this whole data of 145,727 something, there are 3,000 something providers. Yeah, so now everything on this sheet you are seeing is a unique provider. Yeah, so there is no duplicate over here. Yeah, so again, like if you try to understand what we have done, again, it might have sounded or looked very easy, straightforward, but again, this is a very, very, very useful takeaway for you. This is a very important activity we have created, meaning we started with downloading the data from a standard governmental website, which is official. I mean, they allow us, they allow like any general public. That's why they have that website. So we downloaded the data. Why? Because later on we are going to process the data, develop some good visuals using Power BI, and then we are going to come up with some good KPIs. And in order for doing that, this is the first step. Yeah. So again, we downloaded the data in a CSV file. Then we converted that CSV file into an Excel file, and then we duplicated the original sheet. And there is a lot of information hidden in this original sheet. Yeah. One key important information which we will be needing is your provider information. So you saw like how we extracted the provider information from the original data and saved it in a separate sheet. Now this sheet is complete. Yeah, ready to go. Yeah, so again, very important step completed. So I'm going to save it. On top of it, let me reorganize a few things so that it looks good. So again, these are names. Maybe I will select this whole top row and I will make it bolder, just a presentable thing. Second one is, let's see. It's good. Yeah, maybe this is name. So let me try this. If I make it left, yeah, okay. Maybe reading good is good, right? Everything starts over here. Maybe this is good. Next is, you see our standard address. Again, you might be aware, like, I mean, whenever we write our address, you go with the street information first, then city information, then state, and then zip code. So it looks like this is reshuffled. So I'm just going to move these things. So street information, I'm going to select the entire cell D. I'm going to cut. Place like select the entire cell C and right click over here, and I'm going to say insert cut cells. As soon as I do that, you see street information is over here, and then I will need city, which is correct. So street first, city, zip code, and state abbreviation, or maybe state abbreviation comes first. So I'm going to select this, the entire cell F, cut it out, select cell E, right click over here, and insert cut cell. Yeah, so this is my address. Address, city, state, zip code, and that's your HRR information. And here also, maybe just like what we did over here, I will, you see this doesn't look like it starts at a single fine line. So maybe I'll have this, looks good. Maybe I'll do the same with city. And again, this is not mandatory. This is about you as the data analyst, or you as the boss, deciding what you want to do. I mean, how you want to look at the data. Yeah. So again, this is your decision. So again, I think this looks good. So I can read the name, address, city, state, zip code, and HRR information. On top of it, again, I think these are the titles that were inbuilt within the whatever database system the cms.gov website has. So let me kind of use some standardized name over here. Yeah. So for the very first, instead of using this RNG, short form of provider underscore CCN, let me use something called as use something simple, right? So provider ID, PROVIDER ID. Awesome. Oops. Close your provider ID. Second one is maybe provider name. Let's simplify it. Let's call it as provider name, PROVIDER NAME. Awesome. Next one is provider street address, PROVIDER STREETADDRESS. Awesome. Next one is provider city, PROVIDER space city. Provider state, PROVIDER space state. Then provider zip code, CIP CODE. Awesome. So even this looks good. And that HRR part, well, I have kind of looked into the data, and that's why I can tell you what this is. So this is nothing but is hospital referral region description. Yeah. So HOSPITAL REFERRAL space HRR description, DESCRIPTION. Awesome. Yeah. So this is, so this data set is ready. So this has information yeah, all the useful processable information about the providers. So this is a very important step completed. We extracted the provider information from the core data. Yeah. So again, in simple terms, even this is a very important task or mini project completed of how do you know how many providers are there, what is their address, what is the CCN, what is, yeah, more information, which state they are in, or what is the zip, and so on and so on. So again, another important step completed. And similarly, what we, so again, this is all about providers, right? So again, if we have the same information in our original data set, then it's a duplication, may not be useful. On the other hand, again, the relationship we built, right, in the Power BI first dashboard that we solved. So within each of those sheets, we'll be joining or we'll be using within Power BI or any visualization software. It's very important to have at least one common connecting column. Yeah. So that's where this provider ID will be that connecting. Yeah. So again, this is the same thing. So I'm going to change this name also. And again, yeah. So well, maybe I'll copy paste. Oftentimes, for entities like names and so on, which you are going to join, always a good practice to exactly copy paste. Yeah, again, you can type in the same thing. No worries. If there are discrepancies, Power BI will automatically detect it and suggest that, okay, there is a discrepancy. Do you want to correct? But again, let's start with a good practice. So I'm going to select this. In this sheet providers, I'm going to select A1, Control C on my keyboard. Go over here and Control V. And on top of it, let's standardize. Yeah. So again, I'm going to select the entire row 1, bolden it out, go to data tab, filter, and go to view, freeze top row. Awesome. And yeah, so again, that's a common link between providers and this sheet. And let's call this sheet, let's change the name of this sheet. Well, there are lots of abbreviations over here. Let's use our standard names for our processing and data analysis, as well as visualization insights KPI purpose. Yeah. So I'm going to call it as Medicare, MEDICARE, INPATIENT. And this is the latest data for 2022. Yeah, so I'm going to say 2022. Awesome. This is good. Yeah, I think this is a good title. And on top of it, so yeah, in this case, right, we have the product name, address, and so on. So as long as we have this, yeah, we don't need the duplicate information. So we don't need organization name, city name, address. So I'm going to select these 3 cells, organization name, city name, address. Yeah, make sure you don't delete this as of now. So yeah, select these 3 and delete. So awesome, those are gone. We also do not need the zip code. Well, again, these 2, zip code as well as state, because yeah, as long as we have it, we can always locate it. So I'm going to select it and right click and say delete. The next part, yeah. So this looks like this is some kind of description. Yeah, so again, these are state, FIPS, RUCA description, DRG, CD, and then DRG description is there. And yeah, maybe Cranio with major. Yeah, looks like this was the procedure they did. And on top of it, there is a total discharge, and then average. I will say, yeah, total discharge. Then there is this average covered charges. Okay, average covered charges, submitted one. This looks like it's a total payment, average total payment amount. So I'm showing this is a dollar, and then this is average Medicare payment. Yeah, these are also dollars. So yeah, let's looking at it. Well, as of now, I think these are still irrelevant. So I'm going to select this B and C that says this RND, RNG state, FIPS and RUCA. I'm going to select these and right click and say delete. With that said, I have this description, and again, there is some entity. I think this is a part of a database as of now. That's what I'm assuming. So I'm going to delete this cell B also that has this long description, RND, RUCA description. So I'm going to delete this as well. Right click and say delete. Then I have, yeah, so let's see what I have. I have this provider ID. I have this organization 23, 24. Okay, no problem. I'll keep it as of now. And I have total discharge and so on. One more change I will do is, yeah, so let's, yeah, I'm going to use a concat command over here. So I'm kind of reorganizing the information in a way that, you know, I had the format of the Power BI visual I have. I'm trying to create in that, so that, you know, once we load this data into Power BI, we'll be able to manipulate and create some good visuals. So for that reason, I'm going to use concat. I'm definitely, yeah. Let's correct the names over here. Yeah. So again, this thing I will keep it as, yeah, DRG is the right one, and description is correct. And then this is the total discharge. Yeah, so again, let's use complete titles over here. So again, say total, yeah, these are, I'm assuming, patients discharge. So TOTAL DISCHERGES is the title I'm going to use. Make it bigger so that I can read. Next one is average covered charges. AVERAGE Awesome. Then average total payments. AVERAGE TOTALPAYMENTS. Awesome. And the G, yeah, so the column G is average Medicare payments. AVERAGE MEDICARE and I prefer keeping this longer name, so that as soon as me or anybody who is not very well versed off about what the data and so on, you can read. And again, your role as a data analyst, you might not be aware of what the technical content of is, and again, it's not a necessary. Having that knowledge is good, but it's not a must as a data analyst. So I try to keep it as long as possible so that it's readable and understandable. So I'm going to do something over here. Yeah. So again, this is DRG CD code I'm showing, and this is, yeah. So it looks like this is the some kind of procedure they did. You see seizure with MCC, seizures without MCC, major chest procedure with. So it looks like this is a procedure they completed, and this is the code for that. Yeah. So again, I'm trying to combine this. So for that reason, maybe what I'll do is I will insert a cell at the very front, and I'm going to name it as DRG space definition, DEFINITION, and I'm going to make it bigger. And now let's use the concat command. Oh, one more thing is, let me see how do they have thousands and 10,000s? Oh no, everything is looks like it's in a 3-digit. Yeah. So for code purpose, I want to see this as a 3-digit. Yeah. So again, these numbers like 23 should look like 023, 024, 025. And I think the least is 1, so it should look like 001, 003, 004, and so on. So for that, I'm just going to format it. So I'm going to select this entire cell C, go to my, I think it's in home. Yeah, go to my home, and you see, well, in the general, I'm going to make this bigger and say more for more number formats. Well, it's for decimals. I'm just going to go to customs, and here I'm going to type 000. Yeah. So again, I want you also to do the same. It's simple. I mean, you are not making any big change. All I'm going to do is within this format for this cell C, go to custom and type 000 and click OK. As soon as you do that, okay, awesome. So you see the format changed. Yeah. So again, everything is a 3-digit code. Now let's use the concat. So equals to CONCAT. This time we will use the second one just to show you it's the same thing. And at bracket start, it is asking for text number 1. So I'm going to select the code as text number 1. Then it's selected. Then I'm going to comma, no space immediately. Double apostrophe space dash space close comma, and now text 2 is my cell D2. It is this Cranio, and close it out, enter. As soon as I do that, let's see. You see it combined these two with the space dash space as a separator. And let's, since it's done, I'm going to drag, just hover my mouse over on this cell A2, take you to the right and down, where the shape of my cursor changes from this white, big thick white plus to kind of skinny this back plus color. And I'm going to double click over here. It will apply that concat formula all the way across. And again, this maybe I'll change the format to left so that I can read these. And again, once this is done, I'm going to say Control C to this entire selection from A2 all the way down, and I'm going to right click over here, and I'm going to say paste special again, paste special values. Yeah, because in future, like if I want to use, oftentimes if there's a formula I'm not comfortable, it might mess up your visuals and so on if something is wrong. So yeah, that's the reason we are doing. So awesome, this has been concatenated, combined. So in that case, this is duplicating. Yeah, so I don't need these when this is done. So I'm going to select cell C, DRG code and DRG description, and delete these, delete it out. Awesome. So now checking the boundaries of this sheet, Medicare inpatient 2002, clicking on cell A1, Control Shift right. On this we have 6 counts, meaning 6 different cells or different columns. And if I do that, yeah, cell A1 and Control Shift down, checking the boundaries. Awesome, we have 145,743 data points. Yeah. So with that, yeah, this part is completed. We are ready to load this data. And something more, well, again, so we kind of downloaded the data from the website, your CSV file converted into an Excel file. Then we created a copy of the original file, extracted the provider information in a separate sheet called as providers. This is our original data, and we kind of removed the unnecessary duplicated. We corrected the format, and we know that this provider ID is the common link between this sheet and this sheet. And again, this is the whole data. So in this case, duplications are okay. This here it is not, because yeah, like with each provider ID, there is a transaction and payment and so on. And again, this is the code. I think, yeah, so this code is unique for every transaction that was done. Yeah, so again, that's the key thing over here. So again, I'm going to save this. Now, something more is understanding the data. Yeah, another very important step. So far, what you have done is another important step you did. But let's move forward with our standardized method of checking the core of the data. Since we know this provider has less data, we'll start over there, and then we'll jump into the original data. Yeah. So within provider, so there are, let's see, cell A1 until all the way right, Control Shift right. We have total 7 different columns. Yeah, and again, these headers are, yeah, provider ID. If I make this bigger, looks like, yeah, these are unique provider ID starting from 1000001 to all the way 670309. Yeah, and again, there are blanks. Now blanks always make me curious, so I'm curious to see what those blanks are. And again, blanks can be an error thing. Yeah, that's the first red flag, an eyebrow raiser that you must be questioning. So when I select blank, awesome. Oops, looks like it's the last cell, or there is somewhere a blank. So, okay, good to know. Oh no, looks like there are multiple. Yeah, I will look into it where it is exactly located. But good to know that there is no data associated with that blank. Yeah, you see why I'm saying that. And again, like I said, this should be, whenever you see blanks, dots, typos, unnecessary things, that should be the first thing you will be questioning is, oh, this doesn't look right. Yeah. So when I see this, yeah, I don't see anything associated with that blank. So looks like that is an erroneous thing. And although I don't see anything, I will assume that the data is good. But when I pull the data and try to do some mathematical calculation, and if the Power BI or any other visualization software, machine learning software or Python don't see, if they find something is wrong, they will give you an error. Yeah, so that's the reason why I was checking. So awesome, looks like this 3017 was it was pointing. So if I select this entire 3017, I'm just going to say delete. Although I don't see anything, I'm just going to say delete. So again, yeah, that part is deleted. Again, 3017 will be there. A new 3017 appeared. Now if I select the data, go all the way down. I'm still seeing the blank. No worries. Maybe it's the last cell. Okay. This is just me. And again, I have handled so much data that, yeah, I mean, there are lots of theories I can tell you. So this time, instead of 3017, I'm going to, oh no, not all. Shift down. Yeah, I'll select this, say Control Shift up. Control Shift up, one cell down. Awesome. This is where I was. So this time I'm going to select 5. Yeah, and again, this is all based on my experience. I've done a lot of these, and there are lots of questionable things which you never get to the root of. But again, as long as they are not going to interfere in your analysis, it's all good. Yeah. So these are a few basic things I'm trying. And if I click OK, some of the data should appear. And now if I say, yeah, it's still there. So again, I think this is a less concern now. All I know is that blank is not within this continuous series of data. So again, that's the one thing. So again, these are the unique provider IDs we saw. And again, going all the way down, selecting these. So there are 3015 different unique providers within the data set. Yeah, so that's another thing. And then provider names. Yeah, I will quickly browse through. First one is this Abbeville General Hospital. Last one is again blank. Before that is Zuckerberg San Francisco thing. And again, when I quickly see, I don't see any commas or yeah, like duplications. Okay, I think this looks good. So these are the names. These are the unique addresses for each of these hospitals. Then there is a provider city. Awesome, unique cities. Sure, yeah, like all the states. Then these are the zip codes. I don't see any commas, yeah, errors and so on. Just to show you what are my eyebrow raisers. Yeah, I'm on purpose. I'm doing this. Yeah. So again, in one of the zip code, standard zip code, I did this, and let's see if I do this. If I scroll through. Yeah, you see. So this doesn't look like a standard zip code format, right? So this is the thing I will question. And again, that is an error. Yeah. So that's the reason why we are checking these. So in order for you, if you see this and you don't know where it is located, right? Technically, I mean, I know it manually did it. So I will unselect all, go to that location, select this part. So it will just show me that exact one. And here I will do the correction. I'm going to select the extra part, delete it, enter it. Now it looks like a standard one. Then I will either clear the filter or select all. Then I will go back here and go back. Yeah, that's gone. So awesome, that's corrected. Then the last part is, yeah, the HRR. So again, looks like state and city. This also looks straightforward. So awesome, we kind of looked into the data. So this is standard provider information with a unique provider ID, name and address and HRR. Then the other part of the data, all the full data. Yeah. So again, I will check the boundaries. So select cell A1, control shift right. There are 6 different columns over here, 6 different cells, and from top to bottom, 145,743 data points. Yeah, unique data points for the entire year 2023. And yeah, let's apply the filter here as well. Oh, it looks like there is. Okay, awesome. Yeah, we applied the filter over here. So I know these are long, so I'm going to make this part also long. So, well, it looks like for one it isn't. I don't know why. No worries. Yeah, let's not worry a lot about it. But yeah, this is it. Or maybe in the format I should have checked. But no, it's kind of late, so it's okay. And later on, I mean, this is another important thing is later on, you see, I'm seeing this one, although I did the formatting 001, when I did a concat, I think it kind of got rid of it. So again, I should have done it one more time. So you see, checking this, you are able to catch these errors or some discrepancies. As of now, I think it should be okay. Later on, while we are building our visuals, if we see this issue, I will tell you how to fix it. Yeah, again, so even if you see some issues over here, and later on, if you see that as a problem later on when you're building the visuals or forecast or doing your business intelligence KPIs insights, you can still fix it. I'll show you how. Yeah. So yeah, this is a good opportunity for us to learn. But other than that, I think yeah, it's yeah, kind of one this. So quickly browsing, no comma, typos, no, nothing. I think everything is good here. Then provider ID. Yes, so these are the exactly same. So these should be the same, starting with 10001 and ending with 670309. Correct. Then total discharges. Yeah, so looks like these are the hospitals, and on that, what were the discharges? So again, starting with 11 and highest to 2,750. Good to know. So that's your boundary. Yeah, so that's the limit. So it ranges from 11 to 2750, and these are numerical. Yeah, so this is a count. Also, this is a like again, these are also number, but this is a unique ID, so it's more of a numerical value or maybe nominal value. Yeah, so these numbers, they represent a certain uniqueness about the hospital. So yeah, so that's a nominal value. Average cover charges. So looks like this is money. So again, this should be a dollar value, nominal. number related. So least is 3004. Yeah, it's a dot. So 3545 is the least, and highest bill is 2131681. Wow, 2 million. Huh? Yeah, 2.1 million is the highest bill. So that's average charges covered and average total payments. Yeah. So again, that's average, and the minimum is 3224.07, and the highest is 555582. Yeah. So that's his total average. And yeah, average Medicare payments. Least is 1387. Highest is 523952. Yeah, so those are the boundaries. Minimum is this and highest is this. So now we kind of know the limits of the data. So we deep dive a step into the data and check the details of each. We check, what and try to interpret what these titles mean, what kind of data is within there through this filters. Again, like what these title mean, what kind of data is there. So again, this is more of a nominal code type of data. So again, it's telling the name. So it's a nominal. This is also nominal. This is more of a transactional data. So it's a number, numerical. This is also money, dollar related, payment related. So again, numerical numbers and so on. And yeah, I think this part is also completed. So with that said, let's save this file